From your research, what can you tell us about the effect of unemployment benefits on families and the economy?
So the concern that many people voice is that when you extend unemployment benefits, as has been voiced here, you potentially give reduced incentive for families to return to work. And that's theoretically a concern that economists have noted for a long time. It could be something that is important. The same exact issue arises in another context that we've been discussing, the EITC. Senator Sessions pointed out that when you have large phase-out tax rates, you potentially create a disincentive for families to work. Now, while theory says that that effect could be small, could be large, we now have good data that allows us to actually study what happens empirically in practice. And the best data, there are now numerous studies using millions of data points, which indicate that these disincentive effects, while they exist, are quite small. So when you extend unemployment benefits by, say, 10 weeks, you extend the amount of time that people stay out of work quite modestly. And even the small amount of longer time out of work that occurs appears to be driven by things like people trying to find a better job, a job that might work better for their skill set, taking advantage of those longer benefits to find the right match that's ultimately going to help the economy grow, rather than just idling their time and living off the system, as some people perceive. So I think theoretically those issues are important, and economists talk about them. Empirically, the data says those effects are not nearly as big as you might have worried about. Coming to your question about what would stimulate jobs and aggregate demand, there's good evidence that if you give $1 to a person with below median income, much more of that is spent than if you give $1 to a person at the top end of the income distribution. So if you're trying to raise aggregate demand, these things are intricately linked.
Such as extending long-term unemployment, putting money in hands of people who desperately need that money.
The marginal propensity to spend out of unemployment benefits is extremely high. So that, I think, would have a stimulative effect.